Hello everyone, this is the Archfiend. This is one of those videos that I shake my head at. I shake my head at the simple fact that I can't believe this is a story that is getting as big as it is. And I can't believe that this is a story at all. Now, this may not be too familiar to a lot of you guys, but it's a somewhat big story here in Philadelphia because it involves a player on the Philadelphia Flyers by the name of Wayne Simmonds. All right? They were playing the New York Rangers the other night in a preseason hockey game. Remember that, people. It was a preseason hockey game. And he was seen on camera calling a New York Rangers player a fag. This player of the New York Rangers was Sean Avery. I'll get to a little bit about him in a second here. But anyways, Wayne Simmonds called Sean Avery a fag. It was picked up on camera. And now GLAAD is coming over with their hands in the air and they're screaming and they're demanding an apology from both Wayne and the Flyers organization. Not only are they demanding an apology, but they want the Flyers as an organization to create, some sort of like help program to help deter people and, teach people the wrongs of, slurs that are homophobic and all that good stuff. Now, that's all well and good, and if you have no idea about this story, I linked 2 articles in the video description. Please check them out. I'm going to be covering both of them in this. Now, that first article is about the incident between Sean Avery and Wayne Simmonds, and I don't even know where to begin to point out how absurd this story is. Now, I'm not condoning people being called a fag just for the hell of it or anything like that, but when I first heard of this story, I thought back to the video that Undertaker Freak 1127 had made in regards to Kobe Bryant, where he called one of the refs a fag during a game, and it was picked up on camera. It was aired on a nationally televised game on ABC, and Kobe had to issue an apology and all this other stuff. And Undertaker Freak brought up a good point in that these are professional athletes. They're in, the heat of the competition. Hockey is a very big trash-talking game. Sports are very competitive, especially at a professional level. How can we be so hypersensitive as a society or any group within our society that we can't handle that grown adults calling each other a slur here or there as so hyper offensive that we have to demand apologies and actions for this? Now, for all I know, Wayne Simmonds is a big homophobe. I don't know him personally that well. Maybe GLAAD does. For all I know, he hates homosexuals and spits at their feet when he sees them in the street. But you know what? He wasn't saying this comment to Sean Avery because of his questionable sexuality or anything like that, because I think it's well established that Sean Avery is indeed straight. I'll give you more info on that in a second. He was just saying it in the heat of the competition, as I stated before, and as Undertaker Freak stated before. My God, do you know how much trash talking goes on in hockey? We're talking about a sport where when things get too serious, players drop gloves and they fight each other with their bare fists till one of them falls down. And that happens on a nightly basis. And all of a sudden, GLAAD is going to go, oh my God. And look in that article I have linked underneath, because one of the things GLAAD says is that, the kids in the playground could imitate the actions that are being said here. They get in fights in hockey. Aren't you a little bit more worried that the kids in the playgrounds could imitate the fighting? You have a problem with this black hockey player calling that white guy who's an asshole and everyone knows is an asshole, calling him a fag? You're worried about that? That's what we have to be hypersensitive about? This is just beyond ludicrous. I cannot believe this. And you know why this is a big deal? Because of Sean Avery. After this game, no one was making a big deal about it. Someone questioned what might have been said to Sean during the game, after the game in a press conference, and Sean Avery came right out and said, "Yeah, Wayne Simmonds called me a fag. I want him to tell me he's sorry." Are you serious? All right, everyone out there that has followed hockey for maybe just more than 5 games and actually knows about Sean Avery, Do you at all see just the utter ludicrous nature of just him being the crybaby bell ringer over this? When I got called a fag, I want an apology. Sean Avery, you're known as one of the biggest assholes in the NHL. I mean, my God, your reputation speaks for itself. This is the guy that got arrested for getting in a fight with cops. He assaulted a Los Angeles Police Department officer. This is the guy, and you guys might have actually heard about this. You know, he actually dated Alicia Cuthbert, and when she left him, I wonder why, for someone else, he came out publicly and said, oh, I hope her new boyfriend enjoys sloppy seconds. Ha! This is the guy that wants an apology because his feelings are so hurt for being called a fag? This guy can't get over the fact that his girlfriend left him for someone else? That he has to use the sloppy second card? You're a douchebag! Here you go, Sean, I have my apology ready for you. I want to give you an apology on behalf of the Philadelphia Flyers and as a resident of Philadelphia here. Excuse me, fuck you! There's your apology, Sean Avery. Stick that up your ass. You gotta be kidding me. This asshole is the whole reason why this story is getting so big. And again, I'm not condoning the fact that he got called a fag or that everyone should just be called fag freely and that it has no sort of repercussion whatsoever. But the fact that actual physical groups in our society are coming out saying actions have to be taken, that is complete bullshit. This is something that could just go right away and not be made a big deal of. Now, that second article I have linked under here, I want to point that out because this involves the other side of this story, opposite of Sean Avery here. Wayne Simmonds was playing a game with the Philadelphia Flyers, another preseason game, and that's another thing, all over preseason hockey. When has something in preseason been this newsworthy in hockey? But anyway, there was a separate preseason game that was a couple days before the Sean Avery incident, where it was a game against Detroit Red Wings, and for some reason it was held in Ontario, Canada. I still don't understand that. But anyway, the game was tied, went past overtime, and it went to a shootout in the very end. Wayne Simmonds was going to take his shot in the shootout, and a fan throws at Wayne Simmonds during his shot attempt a banana. Throws a banana at him while he's taking a shot attempt. Keep in mind that this is a black man playing hockey and someone is throwing a banana at him. Now that is wrong on so many levels. Number one, it's a game where you need concentration and he's, trying to do his thing, taking his shot. He's not expecting objects from the crowd to be thrown at him. So now psychologically he has to worry about that anytime he takes a shot. And number two, it is so racially insensitive to throw a banana at, of all people, a black man. Now, in that article, I want you to read what Wayne Simmonds' comments were about this, because I'm going to paraphrase them here for you and you can follow along at home. He basically said, hey, I understand the situation. I am a black man playing in a predominantly white sport. I know there's ignorant people out there and ignorant things and racial things are going to be done to me. I just have to learn how to deal with it. But you know what? I'm done with this because as far as I'm concerned, I'm here to help my team win games, and that is what I'm here for, to play hockey. And it was done. Nothing has been said about that here in Philadelphia from Wayne Simmonds or the Flyers as far as the situation goes. Once he made those final comments after that game, the situation was squashed. Now, Wayne could have made this situation a whole hell of a lot more than it could have been. He could have got the NAACP involved. He could have got Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all these people. He could have demanded an apology from all of Ontario, Canada. He could have said, I want the person that threw that banana on the ice, I want them prosecuted. I want to see that racist pig strung up. He could have said a number of things, but you know what? He squashed it because you know what? He is there to play hockey. Was it completely racially insensitive and ignorant to do that? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and condone the fact that that fan threw that banana on the ice at a black man while he's in a sport that is controlled and played by pretty much predominantly all white people. But now, a couple days later, all right, he makes an honest slip-up. He shouldn't have called Sean Avery a fag. But you know what? We have to make a big deal out of this. This is a man that showed restraint for making what could have been a bigger deal out of something. Then he just said, you know what, I'm here to play hockey. So he did just that. Did he use a potentially hurtful word against a man who's a complete asshole? Yes, he absolutely did that. I can't say I condone that, but again, I'm not going to run out screaming saying that the Flyers should apologize for this. Maybe an apology from Wayne, and that's about it, but Jesus Christ, GLAAD is sitting there acting like 10 homosexuals just got killed on the ice. Jesus Christ, what is this world coming to? But there we have it. GLAAD is getting involved and they want an apology. I'll tell you what, I will be extremely disappointed if the Flyers issue an apology about this. I can accept if Wayne Simmonds issues an apology about this. I can accept that. But if they're going to start taking steps to start creating, you know, a hatred awareness classes and stuff like that just because of this incident, a sport where there is trash talking on a nightly basis, a sport where if you gave me any team, I could tell you 10 people that aren't of a native tongue to America or English, that don't speak English. I guarantee you there's probably 100 other slurs that are said any given night in hockey, but they're said in a foreign tongue and they're not even picked up. And I guarantee you it's not the first time Sean Avery's been called a fag. I can guarantee you that. But Jesus Christ, man, I just cannot stand this hypersensitivity in the world. Again, I'm not condoning the fact that Sean Avery, I'm sure Sean Avery has said that word. I'm not condoning the fact that Wayne Simmonds said that word. But Jesus Christ, we don't have to act like, again, like 10 homosexuals were killed on the ice, execution style, with guns to the back of their heads. My God, GLAAD, calm down. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. And again, this is what they choose to be, you know, find offense over, because kids might imitate this on the playground. Wow. Get your priorities straight, GLAAD. This is really not a big deal. I can tell you, I get called fag a number of times on any given day here. I deal with it. So, there we go, people. Another video that isn't about YouTube and YouTube whores. Hope you've been entertained. I hope I didn't make this too long or drawn out. And again, check out those articles I've linked in the video description, because that basically spells out everything. And, you know, I hope Alicia Cuthbert's husband is enjoying that sloppy second pussy. And there's a motorcycle that zoomed by outside and ruined the end of the video. I'm going to go outside, and I'm not going to call him a fag, but I will punch him, as long as he's alone. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.